What's up, everybody, and welcome to Philly in the Philippines. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. You know what, guys, today I want to talk a little bit about Angeles City, Philippines. Is it a city you would consider retiring in? Or is it just a city with a bunch of whoremongers in it, right? I'm going to kind of like just give you my thoughts of living here in this city for over 5 years now. Guys, remember, I am not an expert. Let's get that clear right away. I'm not an expert. These are just things I've observed, things I've seen, things I've done since I've lived here in Angeles City for 5 years. Just going to share it with you guys. So think about it. Is it somewhere you would consider retiring or not? When you go to retire, the things you have to think about as you get older, of course, medical. You don't want to be stuck somewhere and there's not a good hospital for you to go to attend, to get treatment in. People did ask me in the comment section of the video I put out about my monthly income, about my medical insurance. I have medical insurance through my retirement that I have through the state of Pennsylvania, and we also have PhilHealth here. So to answer those questions, that's the health insurance I have. So health, doctors, hospitals, you know, up here in Angeles City, there's quite a few nice hospitals here, private hospitals, and there's also public hospitals. I can think of 1, 2, 3, at least 3 hospitals up around Center City that are very good. You can go on to Clark, you got Clark Medical Center. So there are good hospitals here, doctors, there's doctors in the hospitals for whatever you might have going on with you, a heart issue, say a heart issue, if you have a stroke, say you have diabetes. I know there's even a dialysis center here. So it does have good hospitals, and that is one of the things that you have to consider when you go to retire here. Hospitals, guys, hospitals. Food, let's get into food. Here in Angeles City, there are so many places to eat. Western food, Filipino food, you've got Italian restaurants, you've got Korean restaurants, you've got Chinese restaurants, you've got Mexican restaurants, American restaurants. So many different food choices here. It's not like you're stuck out in the province and, you know, the thing you might have there is a Jollibee. There's so many fast food restaurants here. Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. There's a TJIF here. There's a Subway here. I'm thinking of what else they have here. A Chili's here. There's so many different places to eat here in Angeles City. If you can't find it, hang on. There'll be somebody that will open up your favorite restaurant food here. So many different places to eat. Malls, guys, you have malls here. I can think of one. You got the SM Super Mall, SM Clark. You've got Marquee Mall. You got Nepo Mall. You got Robinson Mall. There's malls. If you like malls and you like going to malls and experiencing that, they have it here. Everything in the mall you can think of. They have American clothes in there. They have Levi. They have Lee. They have so many different American style stores in the malls. So yeah, malls, well, they're everywhere in the Philippines, but we have 4 good malls here. Grocery. We've got great grocery stores here. We got grocery stores inside the malls. We've got Pure Golds. I think of 2 Pure Golds here. S&R, which is S&R, is a big grocery store here that sells a lot of American products in there. So it does have a lot of grocery stores here. You know, you're not forced to go to the local tiny little store, say in a province, and just choose from that. We have big grocery stores here. As far as airports, we have the Clark International Airport. You can fly in and out internationally out of there. You can fly domestic out of there. Now, people have told me it's a little expensive to fly into Clark. It is, but it's convenient. If you want that convenience of not having to fly into Manila, but fly into Clark, you have that here. You can also fly from here to Cebu, from here to Siargao, from here to Leyte, from here to Mindanao. Wherever you want to fly, they have it here. You can fly in and out at Clark. Another thing is, with the new Skyway, you can be down at the Manila airport in about a half hour. How do I know? Because I've driven down by the airport on my way to a certain destination. It takes about an hour and a half with that new Skyway. No longer going through the city, unless of course you're on a bus. I'm talking if you're in a private car or in a van. Hour and a half, you can be in Manila. You can have everything you want in Manila. Another thing, guys, is expats. There's a lot of expats in this area. There's a lot of good expats up here, along with the few bad. You're always going to have good expats and bad expats, no matter where you go. You have Americans here, Australians here, Canadians here, Irishmen here, UK here. I've met so many expats from so many different parts of the world. There's so many different expats here. Vets, a lot of vets come here. A lot of vets will come here because you have groups here in Angeles City that are vet groups. They take care of each other, they look after each other. If they need help, they help each other. I've noticed a lot of younger people. When I mean younger, I'm 55. These guys might be late 30s, early 40s. Did their 20 years in the military, got out. Now they're retiring here in Angeles City. But there are so many groups of expats here. I know guys that are into shooting pool. You know, that's the thing. You always have to find something to keep yourself busy. If you don't, you're going to get bored. Let's put it that way. Pool leagues, hash runners, guys that do the hash runs, guys that like to go to the gym, guys that like to swim, guys that like to golf. There's so many different expat groups here that you could find something. And if there's not, I'm sure you could create something and others would join you. So there are a lot of expats here. I myself, I have a handful of expats. That's by choice. That is only by choice. That's just me. Even bowling. If I didn't say bowling, there's even bowling here. So yes, bicycling. There's guys that like to ride bicycles. There's motorcycle groups here. Guys that love to ride motorcycles. Guys that love to ride dirt bikes. So there is a great, fairly nice sized expat community here in Angeles City. So like I said, these are just some of the things that I have noticed. Now, on the downside, guys, on the downside, the sidewalks here and the roads here are just a nightmare. I'm going to give you the good and the bad. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I've driven different places in the Philippines, and I can honestly say the drivers here in Angeles City are probably the worst drivers I've ever driven around. Does it make them a bad person? No, it doesn't make them. It's just the lack of education. They said there's over 500,000 people here in Angeles City, over 500,000 people. And a lot of people here, you got to understand, they're coming here to work. There's so many call centers here in Angeles City. So people come from different provinces. They come up here. They come up here to work. You got so many people from just all over. They say half the people here aren't even from Angeles City. They're not Kapapampangan. So your driving can be a challenge. And the sidewalks, guys, when you walk, you always got to look around. Sidewalks are terrible. Another thing, trash. Trash, I've been, like I said, I've been to other cities in the Philippines, and from my observation, I just think trash is just overwhelmingly bad here. You just see it. I don't know why it's like that. You know, if I'm driving down the road and I see I'm driving down the road, there's a barangay truck in front of me, windows down, out flies a Jollibee bag. Come on. Come on. A barangay truck, a government official. But it's just, don't get me wrong, there are places here that are dirty. You get down in the city, Manila, and squatter areas and stuff, it's dirty. But the lack of discipline here, just, I call it ground decoration. Ground decoration. Air pollution, you know, you got jeepneys blowing out the air, you know, their exhaust systems, the trikes. You have that everywhere. But yes, the air pollution here. Here, let me get back to another good thing. Yes, there are no beaches here, but you can be in Subic Bay within an hour and a half, an hour. Depends how fast you drive, so you have that advantage. So yes, it is. Angeles City is I would say it's a small city, but a lot to offer. A lot to offer. I've ran into subscribers here that have said, oh, I'm just stopping in to see. I'm going to travel elsewhere. They plan to retire here, but excuse me, their goal is not to retire in Angeles City. They just want to come and check it out. Which brings me to the next point. Is it just a whoremonger city? Is it a city just for whoremongers to come and hang out, chase girls around? It's known for it, guys. Let's face it. You can, however, live in this city and not one step foot in the red light district. It's just a small street. A small street. What do I mean by small street? From beginning to end, you could be through it in 10 minutes at the most, depending how fast you walk. It's only one small street. Whoremongers come here. That's what they are. They're whoremongers. Let's face it. You can come, you can stay at a nice hotel, you know, you can live like you're Austin Powers, you know, for a couple of weeks, stay in a nice hotel, maybe only $100 or so a night, and you're picking up women left and right, you're having a good time. Let me stop and say, I have nothing against that. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. There's guys that do it all the time. There's guys that come here and, you know, they don't want to come and pay those big prices up on the walking street. So what they'll do is they'll prowl around the side streets. They'll find themselves some freelance girls. Maybe even find some girls in a bar on a side street. There's many reasons these guys come. They have a good time. And I always said, if you come, treat the girls right, no matter who you are and what you're doing. But is it a big city of just whoremongers? Yes, there are. There are guys that retire here, and that's what they are. And they're proud to say it. And I respect that person more than somebody that hides around and pretends like, you know, he's not here for that, or he's not, you know, didn't come here for. I respect the guy that says, yep, buddy, I am a whoremonger. I'm the biggest whoremonger in Angeles City, and I'm proud of it. I respect you. But why would you consider? I mean, would you even consider Angeles City? You know, I know guys that, you know, no way, I'm not moving there. My wife wouldn't let me. But it does have a lot to offer. It does have a lot to offer if you're looking for specific things, right? Me, myself, I deal with Angeles City. I deal with Angeles City for the simple reason you make sacrifices. And our daughter, and I've said this before, our daughter goes to a private school. She likes her friends, good education. So that's what keeps me here, guys. That's what keeps me here. In a few years from now, I plan to be gone. Where yet, I don't know. But wherever I do go, I will be looking for those specific things that I mentioned in the beginning. Those are some things that I just want. That's me. That's myself. That's what I'm looking for. So tell me, would you consider moving and retiring in Angeles City, or is it just a city like, maybe I'll stop by, check it out, see what it's all about, and then move on? Another thing, guys, natural disasters. We just seen here a few months ago that typhoon that came through like Cebu, Siargao Island, just different areas like that. And it took a hit. I mean, there were places that were destroyed, houses ripped down, you know, whole communities just wiped out. You got to think of natural disasters too, where you're going to live. Yes, we have Mount Pinatubo. It blew up in 1991, caused a major problem here, pretty much destroyed Angeles City, but they rebuilt. Earthquakes, guys. Yes, we have earthquakes here. We have earthquakes in Angeles City. The ground rumbles, it shakes. I've experienced a few, but yes, we do have it. But as far as like major typhoon rolling through, you're not going to get it. You might get a signal 1, signal 2 up in this area, but you're not going to get like complete devastation. And if that's one of your concerns too, that's another thing that you have to consider looking at. Where do I want to live to where I don't really have to worry about any really hard natural disasters? So I'm just putting a few things out there. It's all up to the individual. Another thing, you have a lot of expats that have retired here because, you know, maybe they were stationed here during the, you know, when they were here in the Air Force, or maybe they retired here when they were stationed here, Clark Air Base. You have guys down in Subic that, you know, retired, but they were stationed down at Subic at the Naval Base. There's many reasons guys will retire in Angeles City. All right, guys, so here's another one you need to consider also. Bureau of Immigration. When you come here to retire, even visit, and you want to stay longer, you're going to have to hit that Bureau of Immigration. You're going to have to go down there, renew your visa. Right now, you can do a, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a 2-month and a 6-month. Also, up to 3 years, 3.5 years, they may change that. We don't know, time will tell, but you have to think about that too. If you're stuck way out in the province and you need to renew your visa, and the place you renew your visa only does it, say like a 2-month renewal. Every 2 months you got to hop on a boat, you got to get on a bus, you got to travel somewhere to renew that visa. Here in Angeles City, right down at Marquee Mall, there's a Bureau of Immigration down there. Go down. Some guys tell me it takes an hour, maybe less, maybe more. But you got the mall there, so you can go out in the mall, you can eat, you can do a little window shopping, do what you got to do, go back to the Bureau of Immigration. I go down there once a year to do my annual report. I'm a 13A visa holder. I'm in and out. This past year we had to make an appointment, so I was in and out 15 minutes. But you have to also think about that here also. We do have travel agents here. If you want to plan somewhere to go somewhere, and you know, within the Philippines here, they can hook you up with that. Line up, you know, where you want to go, where you're going to stay, your flight, everything. They do everything at travel agent. They'll even renew your visa for you if you don't want to go down to the mall. So that's another good positive thing here about living in the city. So yeah, let me know what you think. Is it a city you would consider living in or not? It has a lot to offer, but so do other places in and around the Philippines. It's all in what you want. It's all in what you desire to have and the conveniences you desire to have when you retire here. Let me know what you think. Leave the comments down below. Some people might say, no way, I'm not moving to Angeles. It's just a bunch of whoremongers. I'm here to tell you, that's not necessarily true. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of good expats here, a lot of good guys here. They'll help you out, they'll be there for you. Then once again, you do have the not so good expats. So anyways, guys, leave the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. You give me a thumbs down, it won't show up. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. And with that, we'll talk to you later.